Queen Nzinga, the woman who fought an empire. In the 1600s, when European powers swept across Africa with armies, guns, and greed, one woman stood in their way. A queen, a warrior, a strategist feared even by generals. Her name was Nzinga Mbande, and for nearly 40 years she fought the Portuguese Empire, not with strength alone, but with intelligence, diplomacy, and unbreakable will. This is the story of the woman who refused to kneel, the woman Europe could not conquer. Nzinga was born in 1583 in the Ndongo Kingdom, modern-day Angola. From childhood, she showed sharp intelligence, mastering politics, negotiation, and languages. But her world was changing. The Portuguese had arrived on the coast, seeking slaves and territory. Their expansion was brutal, villages destroyed, people captured, kings humiliated. Nzinga's father, the king, tried to resist. Her brother tried to survive. But Nzinga? She watched, she learned, and she waited. In 1622, her brother, now king, sent Nzinga to negotiate peace with the Portuguese governor in Luanda. What happened there became one of Africa's most famous moments. The Portuguese offered her a seat only in front of the governor, not equal to him, a political insult. Nzinga looked at the floor, at the mat beneath her, and understood the game. She motioned to her servant. The servant dropped to the ground, hands and knees forming a human chair. Nzinga sat proudly on her throne, eye to eye with the governor. She would not bow to an empire. The governor was stunned. Negotiations succeeded, but peace was temporary. War returned, and Nzinga was ready. When her brother died, under mysterious circumstances, Nzinga became queen of Ndongo. Her first act? Reform the army, train new warriors, ally with runaway slaves and local kingdoms, and strike back. She moved her capital, formed a guerrilla army, and built a new multicultural state in Matamba, where she ruled with absolute authority. But her most powerful weapon was her mind. She used diplomacy to play the Dutch and Portuguese against each other, turning European rivals into pawns. She fought battles on land and negotiated deals in castles. She adapted to new tactics. She read her enemy better than they read her. For decades, she resisted Europe's strongest empire. The Portuguese tried everything. They spread propaganda, they funded rebels, they sabotaged her alliances, they even tried to assassinate her. But Nzinga survived every plot, every attack, every betrayal. Even in her 60s and 70s, she rode into battle with her soldiers, a queen in armor, commanding respect. She created safe zones for enslaved Africans. She passed laws protecting women. She modernized her army. She built a thriving kingdom from exile. She became a symbol across Central Africa, the woman who refused to be conquered. After decades of war, diplomacy finally achieved what weapons could not. In 1657, Queen Nzinga signed a peace treaty with Portugal, not as a defeated ruler, but as an equal. She spent her final years rebuilding Matamba, stabilizing her people, and setting the foundations of a strong, independent state. When she died in 1663 at the age of 81, Europe breathed a sigh of relief. Africa gained a legend. Today, Queen Nzinga stands as one of the greatest leaders in African history, a symbol of resistance, intelligence, and power. She proved that leadership is not about strength alone, but strategy, courage, and dignity. A queen who sat on a human throne to show an empire she would never kneel. A woman who fought for her people and won. Queen Nzinga, the woman who defied the world.